right, good morning, friends and family. John Miller, your Lake Stevens Realtor, coming at you here on Monday, April 26, 2020. A nice rainy Monday morning here in springtime in the Northwest. Today's question comes out of Lake Stevens, Washington, and the question actually just came over the weekend is, what is a pre-inspection? What does that mean? I see that term out there. What does that mean? And it's a really good question because there's actually two answers to it that are very different. So let me go over both of those. The first one is when a seller is getting ready to list their property and will hire a home inspector to come out and inspect the property and then take the opportunity to repair those items they feel necessary to bring the home to a better condition. Things that they know are going to come up in any buyer's home inspection and would probably have to be addressed. Some sellers will do more than others. Some will do virtually the entire list of things that are brought up during the inspection. Some will just take care of material items or what have you. But they'll take that opportunity, and many of them will take that inspection and then publish that online as an attached document in the listing. Your agent can get that for you. It's not for the public, but you can call your agent and they can send that over to you. And then a buyer can review that and use that information to effectively make an offer. And whether a buyer wants to waive their inspection at that point and just kind of trust the information that was in the home inspection and trust that the seller had addressed those items, which they will claim or what have you. That's really up to them. Now, obviously, on that note, a lot of buyers would prefer to have their own home inspection because obviously from a seller they didn't hire them, and there may be a small window of time between the time that home inspection took place and the time the buyer's making their offer. Things can happen. It does. It just who knows. Anyway, so that's a seller's pre-inspection, and we see some of it out there. It's not a bad idea for some sellers to do that. Just kind of eliminates a lot of headache during the buyer's home inspection period if they choose to do one. The second one is a buyer's home inspection, and that is or a buyer's pre-inspection, and what that is the seller usually notes that in the listing, pre-inspections available or what have you, and they're basically making an offer to or a pitch to the buyer to have the home inspected prior to the buyer making an offer. Right now in our market that obviously is very strong, most sellers choose to have an offer review date, 4 or 5 days from the time they list. And that gives a buyer an opportunity to come in and do a home inspection prior to making an offer. We've heard of listings where there's 10 home inspections that weekend. It's obviously a real headache for the seller because they had all these people tromping through their house. Obviously there's a lot of risk for the buyer, especially in a strong market, because there are multiple offers and multiple buyers doing the same thing. Obviously the benefit for that is for both parties. It eliminates that inspection contingency on making an offer. At that point, the buyer is aware of the condition. They could still ask for repairs when making the offer, but the home inspection is done at the time of offer, so it's one less hurdle for both buyer and the seller. The home inspection is the first big contingency right off the bat, and if the buyer doesn't have, they've already addressed that, and then the seller gives the seller a little bit more level of confidence that the buyer is going to proceed. Obviously the buyer is well aware of the condition of the property. So not every listing will have where the buyer will have the opportunity to do that. It's always interesting. Obviously a pre-inspection agreement is done prior to an offer. It's not part of an offer, of course. So it's an agreement between buyer and seller, and both parties have to agree, including the seller. So that is the two pre-inspections that we talk about. If you have any questions regarding that, obviously reach out to me directly and I'll be very happy to answer them. Interest rates 2.97. They've been coming down here over the last couple of weeks, which is a little surprising, but what do you do? Phenomenal rates, of course, and a lot more listings coming in the market, a lot of people out looking at houses right now. Hosted a very busy open house yesterday, and a lot of activity, a lot of people out looking right now. And if you're one of them, give me a call and we'll see what we can do to find the right house for you. And that's it for the week. So wherever you are, stay safe and healthy. We love you, and we'll see you next week.